Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to quickly talk about the Mechanical Acuity set. A lot of people have been asking me what changed, did it get nerfed, buffed or whatsoever. Basically, now you can see when you deal direct damage, you have a 15% chance to gain unerring mechanical vision for 5 seconds, causing your attacks to always be a critical strike. With an 18 seconds cooldown. This is on the Summerset PTS. When we look at the Dragon Bones version, it says when you deal damage, you have a 15% chance to blah 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 blah. So that's the only difference. Pre-Summerset, when you deal damage, and here when you deal direct damage. So what does it exactly mean? Basically, when you apply several dots whatsoever in the Dragon Bones patch, it could proc off each dot. Like you apply this, maybe this, and then you weave. And usually it instantly activated the moment you bar swap, because you always front barred the set. Now the thing about this is that, or like a lot of people asked whether is it still good or not. When you actually test this on a target dummy, it may look like it can still be good, but in most cases it's not really worth it anymore. When I look at, so here in this Cloud Rest, let's actually see, I think this was a mini boss fight. 22%, this was over 205 seconds. Not bad. And then we have over a 16-minute fight. Where are you? Over a 16-minute fight, 18%. Most of the times when we were doing Cloud Rest runs and stuff like that, the main boss, it was around 15 to 19% uptime. Not more. Like in Dragon Bones, it used to be 25 to 29%. It was a lot higher. So what have people been doing or testing? So basically, when I did some tests, the only setup it's actually worth running on is when you use force pulls. Because force pulls has 3 insta casts. Like each hit, like you do a flame, frost and shock damage, and all of those can actually proc Acuity. In combination with Asylum Staff or just a class that uses force pulls, Acuity is still really good. But on all other setups, tests have shown that either, don't have it here, but either like stuff like Burning Spellweave or even Mother Sorrow outperform Acuity when you front bar those things. Keep that in mind. On my website, I'm still working on updating all the builds. There is still the beta tag on it, so as long as that is there, there still might be changes. But in my Discord, a lot of people have been super helpful, showing test results whatsoever. Most of the times the DPS difference is not that big. But like I said, stuff like Burning Spellweave, Mother Sorrow seems to do a little bit better than Acuity. That's for Magicka. For Stamina, there is a complete new set. For Stamina setups, it's a little bit different. Basically, instead of Acuity, we will now use Berserking Warrior. This is not the new set, but most people don't know that it exists. It's a heavy armor set. I do think it only drops in Helra's Citadel, or at least mostly. So you need to trade change. Well, you need to trade change anyway. Stamina usually uses Infuse now instead of Robust. Just keep in mind, I will do like more videos about what changed, etc. once this patch goes live, because I first want to read the patch notes and then go into a detailed video, what is changing, what so on. Because you never know when Rubble Ninja sneaks those juicy nerfs in. So here, tests have shown that Acuity simply, I mean, you're not gonna get the super good uptime. And this advancing your keyed, believe it or not, it's actually better than Acuity, or like as good as Acuity before the change. Why? As you can see, when you deal damage, your critical strike rating is increased by 400 for 5 seconds. You can have 5 of those stacks, so that's 2000. When we look at stuff like that, major savagery is 2191, so it's almost the same. It's like, well, we actually can test. Now we have 56. $65. So it's 9% crit that you actually gain from this set. And the funny thing is, after doing several tests, because usually when you have abilities or like sets that last for 5 seconds, when you go to the back bar, they usually tend to drop off if you're too slow. But on this setup, for example, we can use trap on the front bar, so it's not really a problem. And we are still investigating why this buff does not drop off, but this buff does drop off. But anyway, just to show you the uptime at the moment, this is on the PTS, so it still might change a little bit. Keep that in mind. I don't know this. Here you can see the 5 Ps basically stayed up all the time. That's how it is. So we can basically have those 9% crit all the time on our setup. I am a red guard here, so when I actually get this up to the maximum, we are at 75%. And I am in a 5-1-1 or 6-1. I have 5 medium, 6 medium and 1 heavy. And we have 75% crit on a non-Kashyyyk. That's just insane. So it's really nice. Yes, it will be... jewelry shouldn't be hard to get, but you want 2 daggers or an accented dagger. So that might prove a little bit more difficult to get, but it's definitely worth it. Once again, this drops in Hellra. I will update the build. I'm already updating the builds on the website. There will be more and more on there now. Damage dealer setups, I'm done with tanks and healers. Damage dealer setups are rolling out now. I will do more tests in the next few days. I will basically stream almost every day now, just do mostly DPS tests on different setups to see. On stamina, it's also something that a little bit changed. We will also now use light attack rotations because we need to. Heavy attacks don't do any damage anymore. We kinda need to make up for that. And with this setup, because they actually also nerf Night Mothers and Sunder, we are using Lever now. But anyway, that's just a few, like a short video about the Acuity. It's not that effective anymore, so we are going towards other things. Like I said, the only place where it's really worth running is when you use force pulls. Other than that, not that. It's still a good set, but just not as good as it used to be. There is better options. That's it. If you have any testing done yourself or whatsoever, you can join my Discord, link in the description, or you also can just put the comment in the comment section below. Please make sure not to forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.